Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị nke taata. Asịrị m unu ka ọ dịrị anyị na mma. Asị m na ihe adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Ndị ga-esi na-esonyela ihe a bụ Igbo Media, bụ ebe anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ ngalaba ozi a dị nnukwu mkpa. Anyị si ka anyị gosi unu gbasata maka ihe na-eme na Igbo community and obodo anụ anyị nọ n'ime ya. Dịka o si dị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ mbọsị izizi ị na-ezite chanel anyị bụ Igbo Media, gbaa mbọ rinne ka ị sọskraịbụ and share ya ka o rute ndị ọzọ aka. Maka na infọmeshọn anyị na-enye unu bụ ihe unu ga-ama gbasata maka ihe na-eme n'obodo a, anụkwunu mara ka unu si akwado na ya bụ ife bụ ya ka anyị si ka anyị drọpụ ọrụ bifo anyị gosi unu ihe anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa, ị drọpụrụ anyị alụ gị ife iche gbasata maka ya bụ ife ndị niile ekwu n'iru akwụkwọ. Alright, over to you, sir.
Thank you for staying with us. Detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has promised to restore peace to the southeast region in 2 minutes if he is released. Kanu, who is standing trial for terrorism, said this shortly after the Federal High Court in Abuja ended the proceeding where he was denied bail. Recall that the IPOB leader has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, since 2021, facing a trial bordering felony and terrorism, amongst others. Speaking with journalists on Tuesday, Kanu said he suspected some government officials were making a fortune from insecurity. Take a listen.
And they're doing it because I'm in DSS. That's why if I said no, and try this rubbish, and they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. They are making money with insecurity. They're making money with it. They know now the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop.
Anybody involved in any form of violence or insecurity in the southeast, in the name of IPOB, they know it. Let me come out of this nonsense, this mess. 2 minutes only. Only 2 minutes, I guarantee you. And there will be peace in the east, not just south. Everywhere in the east, not the entire south.
All right, in the studio with me to discuss this is political analyst, social commentator Ziggy Ibe. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And also in the studio with me, Igbo Youth Congress President Bright Izocha. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, let me begin with you, Ziggy. This statement made by Nnamdi Kanu has been generating reactions. He's saying 2 minutes, just give him 2 minutes, that if he's released, that peace, there'll be peace in the southeast. And then he also laid some allegations talking about there are those who are benefiting from the crimes and criminality going on in the southeast, because he did not understand how people who you say you are fighting for, you are killing them, disrupting their businesses, indeed saying that you are actually fighting for their interest.
Thank you. This is not new to us now. That statement is pregnant, but in as much as impregnable that statement is, I would want to think that Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, had not actually known how large that organization has become. In this statement, I meant that organization which he championed or is still championing has actually outgrown him.
Really?
He is speaking from the ground or belief that he is still very much in charge of that organization. But you and I will leave that to him until he is released. And let's see how that 2 minutes stoppage could come on that axis. Because like he rightly observed, people are profiteering from that business. That has become people's enterprise. In fact, they've made commercial ventures out of that organization. And those were the areas Nnamdi Kanu, I'm sure he's not looking at. Nnamdi Kanu has lost grip of that organization from all I believe. Because if you look at the trajectory, right from when it first started, he was actually in total charge. Okay? And we knew how they started. But at a large extent, he grew out of hand. And he himself, when in his second coming,
this before he was arrested?
No, before the first time the first time before he bolted. Okay? When he came back, he couldn't still control them. Okay? And it's not as if we've not had leadership of that organization in between.
Also between.
Okay, in between, yes, because when he left, some other people, Emma Powerful was at a point leading the organization. At a point, some other person grew out of it in the name of this guy from Ebonyi State, the one that controls from Finland.
Yes.
I'm talking of Simon Ekpa.
Ekpa, yeah.
Okay, so it's not as if they don't have a leadership in that organization. So I wish him Godspeed for him to be out of that organization, and let's see the magic he's going to perform in order to stop
so you think that
the ravaging boys as we speak. Well, so many of his boys
are no longer
loyal to him, because he has been speaking from the incarceration room. He has been speaking through his lawyer, Ejimako. Yes, and Ejimako many times had brought word from him to his boys. Have they stopped? Because the voice heard from him through Ejimako is the same voice of Nnamdi Kanu. Unless they are telling us what Ejimako was transmitting was different from what Nnamdi Kanu was telling him. Okay, now we've heard him. Let's see how peace comes from that end. So the restivity of these boys were not actually what Nnamdi Kanu could restore as he comes out. But that is still in my own imagination. Okay? But what I'm saying is that has become merchandised. It has become an enterprise to so many. Like he said so many government people, when he alleged, so many politicians are complicit. In it, that means they're making commercial out of the enterprise.
So it's no longer about the interest of the people?
At all. Because if it were about the interest of the people and agitating for Nnamdi Kanu to come out of the prison and all that, it shouldn't have gone the far it has gone. It is taking too much a position for one to feel that they were actually fighting for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. When also, we've had so many issues. First issue was when the sit-at-home was backed upon. How many times had Nnamdi Kanu asked them to stop? Did he stop?
He did not.
How many times had Nnamdi Kanu asked the people? Because at a point they had fractions. IZON was created out of IPOB and all that. So if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, which I wish he could, let's see how 2 minute stoppage could be seen.
All right, let's get Bright Izocha's perspective to this matter. He is saying that that Nnamdi Kanu has lost grip of that body, so to speak. I wonder if you see it in that way, because 2 minutes and ensuring if he's released and peace being restored, we do not know how that will happen.
It is possible.
Okay.
I've been a member of a self-determination group in Nigeria for the past 30 years, and I know how these things work.
Okay.
A leader is always a leader.
So how come they have not been responding to all the statements?
They cannot respond to any message from a third party. Their leader is being castrated unjustly as they believed. And there's nothing I'm going to tell them that will stop them from continuing their activities. Mind you, this sit-at-home every Monday started because of the agitation to get Nnamdi Kanu released from the
but he told them, like he rightly alluded,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, you see, let me tell you something.
So seeing him on TV make that statement is not enough?
It's still not enough. It's still not enough. Because that statement is anchored on his release. He said, release me, 2 minutes, this thing will stop. He didn't say, stop, because I'm being incarcerated. He's saying, release me. That means this is
I am referring
court.
back to.
I'm
referring to this time he said that the sit at home should be stopped.
You see, whether Nnamdi Kanu send message through his lawyers or not, his people, his comrades, wants to hear directly from him. They want his freedom. His freedom is paramount to them, not what Nnamdi Kanu is saying from the prison. Nnamdi Kanu can be under duress to issue such statements. They don't know what is happening when he issued those statements.
I mean, his lawyers and people who have the access.
It doesn't matter. You see, the lawyers can come out and tell the people, I am a member of self-determination group. If today you arrested me today, and my lawyer is telling my boys, Bright says this, Bright says that, they will not listen to you. They want to hear directly from Bright. They want to see me. They want that my freedom will be paramount in their mind. It doesn't matter what any other person is saying. Even if my mother or my father is telling them that I said so, they will not listen. Because in as much as there is a primary objective that everybody is fighting for, that is structural violence against our people, Nnamdi Kanu incarceration is also a continuation of that structural violence against our people. Mind, the structural violence is directly linked to direct violence. When you arrested a man, court granted him bail, and you carried the military might to invade his home. Were you going there to kill him or to spare his life? The same thing we witnessed in the case of Igbo, who have to escape around to Benin Republic. Today, Igbo have been pardoned, but Igbo is back to Nigeria. There is also a similar situation that involves so many people. This issue of terrorism and what have you have been charged on a lot of Nigerians. Once you try to agitate for the right and the freedom of your people, the government label you a terrorist. So it's not terrorism and all this is not a thing of today. We have been hearing that for the past. Someone like Asari Dokubo and all Niger Delta militants have also been labeled the same thing, and they have been forgiven. What is so special about this Nnamdi Kanu that the federal government have refused to let him go? That is the fundamental question everybody is asking. And having said that, let me also reinforce it here that a lot of people and the political leadership in Southeast are making money out of Nnamdi Kanu incarceration. That is why they are done.
That's a weighty allegation.
Yeah, it is.
So, because you have to give us the facts.
You see, the more there is crisis and violence in the Southeast, the more their security votes increase, the more they are not accountable to anybody.
How is that?
You see, these people that are governing the Southeast today, a lot of them cannot even come in the village square meeting where others people are sitting to discuss issue of the village square.
Why not?
Because you see, in Igbo land where I came from, people ask, son of who are you? It's not about wealth. It's son of the character, because when they want to know your father, they know your character. There are some of these people that cannot even come out in the village square meeting to discuss issues that concern.
But who are those who are those that voted them in as their leaders?
We witnessed what happened in Imo State recently, so you can know how these people are being voted into power. Where election did not take place in any place, and then you sit down somewhere and wrote results and throw out there, because you know if there's peace in the land, people will be free to move around and to exercise their franchise of voting for their own choice candidates. But they will not, because they know if such playground is allowed.
So you're saying all the efforts being made by the governments of if the Southeast is just
it's a method.
It's just method. It's not in the interest of the people.
It's a show.
This is something waiting. This is a weighty allegation.
You see, the truth, we know.
Were you there when the security votes were being increased? Were you there?
Are we not seeing the budget on the newspaper and the pages of newspaper and the television every day? Are we not seeing how they spend money, claiming to spend money on this budget to do this town hall meeting, try to pacify people, or try to do this? Are we not seeing how much is being earmarked for all those things? This is how they are writing off our collective wealth in the Southeast. Because if they actually want Nnamdi Kanu to be released today, the political leadership in the Southeast, they want Nnamdi Kanu to be released today.
Have you forgotten that they met, even with this current president, they spoke with him at some point with regards to this matter? You
see, all those talk shows.
Why do you call it talk show?
Have we let Nnamdi Kanu
Did they go and meet the president or not? to talk about the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
People went and meet the president to pardon Igbo. Is Igbo not out? Is Igbo not free to move around?
So why do you think that they did not do something about this and the conversation did not go around the matter of the release of Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he's still in DSS custody? You think that is just a show? Do you know if there are other reasons
I believe so.
behind he's still being held back?
What are other reasons? What has Nnamdi Kanu done that others did not do? Tell me one. Nnamdi Kanu is not, you don't even live in Nigeria in the first place to say you have killed anybody or anything. But those who we knew that lived in this country that perpetrated a lot of atrocity have been pardoned. Even those that are still fighting, killing innocent people in the north, are being pardoned every day. The repentant Boko Haram have been pardoned and reinstated in the society.
Have you and your people,
why on earth is Nnamdi Kanu different from others?
Called to question the conversations around the release of Nnamdi Kanu? Have you called the Southeast governors to question, to say, what are you people doing? The conversation you had with the president, what happened? What came out of it? Have you or any of the groups spoken with any of the leaders in the Southeast?
The discussion is going on every day. And what
are they saying?
The truth remains that it's different.
What are they saying?
People can play to gallery. Today, it's not today we know about Nigerian politics.
What did they say?
I can come out here. If I can come out here and tell you that, oh, Nnamdi Kanu should be incarcerated. And I will go out there.
What did the leaders say? You said you have spoken with some of the governors.
What they say is irrelevant as far.
No, it is relevant because I'm asking.
No.
You need to know.
As long as Nnamdi Kanu is still in there, what they are telling us outside is irrelevant. It's like somebody coming to say that I've discussed this person. You say I'm going to free you tomorrow, and tomorrow you are still there. Did you
follow up on the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is still there, and whatever it is they told you did not come to the light?
Nnamdi Kanu just on his own said.
What did the leaders tell you? We need to
2
know
days,
what they said.
2 days, and this thing.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. This thing will come to an end.
I am still insisting on knowing what the governors told you.
The government don't need to tell me direct.
You said you had meetings with them.
Then I don't have any meeting with them. But those they are meeting with, we are getting a feedback every day.
So what's the feedback you got?
It doesn't do whatever feedback we are getting.
What is the feedback you got?
The truth is that Nnamdi Kanu is still there.
What is the feedback?
Nnamdi Kanu is still there, and as long as Nnamdi Kanu is still there, and there's still insecurity in the southeast, all these things is babas.
What is the feedback you got? If you say you've been getting information, isn't it important to know what feedback they are getting from the government?
The point here is, you see, when you talk about violence in a particular region, you should, one could, or the group could equally use the peace as a bargaining chip for their leader to come out, and not using violence or not using unrest. Because if you are priming the environment, you are creating chaos.
For the same people you are trying to fight for.
You are trying to fight for.
In whose interest is
and for the same man you think you love so much and you want him to come out. Violence don't beget violence. So the point here is we must learn how to negotiate. That is the word here. When we negotiate, Nnamdi Kanu himself has said that, look, I didn't send these people go clean people. I didn't send these people go cause mayhem. I didn't send these people to cause unrest everywhere. The youth restiveness is about the interest of the people. About the interest, there is a personal agenda, not Nnamdi Kanu's agenda. If they are actually becoming restive because Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated, then what they are invariably telling the government is to hold him to ransom for some time, because you don't cause violence in order to bring or negotiate for someone. You are talking about Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho, when he caused violence in the southwest, he ran away. His people were not killing everyone for Igboho to come out. They negotiated. So it is about negotiation, not violence. If anybody is causing this unrest because you think that is the only way Nnamdi Kanu can come out, that is not truth. It's not.
You see,
we must, I'm coming, sir. We must take this into cognizance that restiveness, the youth, like I said, look, some people are profiteering in this, and that's why they don't want it to go away.
And he has pointed accusing fingers at the leadership Of the Southeast.
And you and I might not know what they are trying to do on the background. That is the point.
You see, Ziki.
Because I'm coming. Nnamdi Kanu, when he came out, you and I heard him. He said he didn't accuse any of the leaders. He didn't. He said he knew some people are profiteering from this, are complicit. And you and I, we've been in this country for quite a good time. Opposition parties, opposition elements will use every force possible to bring down an administration. They could use anyone. But don't be used because you would fall into the wrong hand of the government. And then I am sure if he comes out, the 2 minutes, I repeat, the 2 minutes he is talking about might take him 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Not to actually quell the situation, but to manage it. But then, he had not known the large, how far the group has grown. Because if you are not there, you are not there. So, he is speaking from his own little knowledge how the group was when he left. And when he comes out, he will now be taken aback. The kind of atrocities they've caused, the kind of merchandise they've made out of this business, and how far they've robbed his name. Now, you are talking that a leader cannot speak through someone. Who said so? It's not possible, sir. If I, Ziggy Igbo here, had a group, and eventually I'm taken in, I can speak through someone. That is a mediator. We've heard that many times. We've seen that many times. Ejimako is lawyer. We've known this years back. And don't forget, Ejimako and the man in the Finland, Simon Ekpa, you remember a time when they were exchanging words here and there?
Yeah.
And you said Nnamdi Kanu at a point said, I don't know any other leader for that group apart from myself. And I keep saying it. Nnamdi Kanu didn't know how far the group has gone so far. When it comes out, you will be amazed at the calamity they've caused. That might not be his name. Those calamities might not have been caused, but I said it has become a personal agenda by those elements, by certain groups within his groups. Because when he left, ISON was created. Okay? Remember, don't forget, IPOB wasn't the first agitators, or they were not first group. We have the one led by Masop, Wazurike. It was out of Masop that IPOB came out. Yeah. Then after IPOB, Nafa is on, created out of this. All these were offshoot of agitations from individuals who want to cause unrest in a region. The point here is, Nnamdi Kanu, I'm happy if he should come out.
Use that word that want to cause unrest on the region. There are individuals that are trying to address the injustice against people of the
But the way we are looking at this, the way we are looking at this, it is no longer a peaceful situation in the region. It is not. The people have been denied their source of livelihood every Monday. Who accounts for that? You are fighting for people. You are denying them their source. Do you know how many people that have, during the emergency, those Mondays, do you know so many people have died? You are fighting for people.
At some point, some students couldn't even write exams.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
All these groups you are mentioning today will fizzle out when Nnamdi Kanu comes out. Let me tell you.
I think you should have said that. I think you should say that other groups will spring up from that coming.
When Asari Dokubo was incarcerated by the same federal government, there were a lot of groups that were fighting for his release. Niger Delta People Volunteer Force. And when you hear Niger Delta People Volunteer Force, it was not just an individual organization. There were a lot of forces that came together. But when he came out, he called a meeting of all those leadership, and he addressed them. And what happened? Peace returned to the region. What I'm saying is this. I am not in support of any violence in the Southeast. I have, on this studio, several times condemned the ongoing mayhem in the Southeast. Because in fact, I even doubted. I doubt if it's the people of the IPOB and the Igbo people that are perpetrating that violence in the South.
Who else?
I am coming. A lot of people today in the Southeast that are not Igbo speaks Igbo fluently more than the Igbo people. Edo people who want to destabilize the Southeast could have taken advantage of
that's another allegation. How do you know that it's
Edo people? Mayhem against our people. But having said that,
how do you know it's Edo people?
I have said it here that I am against sit at home every Monday that is impacting in our economic growth in the Southeast. I'm also against an Igbo man carrying arms to kill a fellow Igbo man, all in the name of agitation, trying to release Nnamdi Kanu. But I'm also saying here that federal government should address the injustices that is going on in the Southeast. Now, let me tell you something. Even if you release Nnamdi Kanu today, even if you kill Nnamdi Kanu today, if you fail to address the injustice against our people, I give you, even if I can't ask them to slow down, I give you few months. Mind you how this thing, how we get to where we are today. It started from Masop, where Masop was championing a peaceful protest. What is it called? Sit at home, or this non-violent agitation. Our people were being constantly killed in each of their processions. The Nigerian forces, the Nigerian government. Remember the issue of Mpo, the Mpo crisis, where a lot of Igbo people, Masop people were mowed down on the broad daylight. Remember the issue in Enugu, in Upper Room, where they went to pray. I've never seen in any nation where people will gather themselves and lock the door and say they want to pray to their God to grant them freedom. And the Nigerian forces invaded them and killed them. We are shouting then that this is becoming too much. And at that point, I feel that people are beginning to ask themselves, how long are we going to continue on this non-violence? And the state is visiting them with a very high level of violence. I think what metamorphosed into IPOB we are seeing today. So when you're talking about Nnamdi Kanu coming out, it cannot be controlled. I disagree completely with you. But I also know that if Nnamdi Kanu should come out today, and if the people of probably those leaders who are working with him, and find out that in 6 months' time, nothing is being done to address the injustice against our people, definitely another dangerous than Nnamdi Kanu will spring up. That is nature. It cannot.
We'll need to understand what these injustices are, but you said something that I needed to clarify. You
structural
said
violence.
Edo people.
I did not say Edo. I did not say Edo. I said other people.
Did you hear him?
Did I say Edo? As other people, a lot of people speak Igbo in Igbo language fluently.
I kept saying it. I kept repeating that statement. You are getting me wrong. I kept repeating that statement because you mentioned.
Don't put word in my mouth.
I'm not putting word in your mouth. It is something you said, and I needed to clarify.
Maybe somebody needs to tell you what I said from when you had replayed this.
That as you mentioned your point, you should be careful what you say.
Excuse me, I said a lot of people speak Igbo fluently in the Southeast today.
You began with that. You began with that. And then you mentioned some other.
I never mentioned.
So as you mentioned your point,
and let me also say this again. Let me also say this.
Let's be careful.
The election is past and gone.
Right.
A lot of people who were involved in election violence, those who visited our people with violence, they are all today working a free man. Those who burned down the markets where our people trades in Lagos State, they were all working a free man. But a man who made a threat that did not have the capacity to carry out that threat is still there languishing in the custody of the Nigerian government. And they call that justice. That is what Johan Gaston classified as structural violence against a people. Anything that you do that deprive the people their human right, their dignity to life, their right to fundamentals and equality in everything in that nation is classified as structural violence. And this now has been carried out against our people since the end of Civil War till date.
Now, can we balance certain things here?
Absolutely. Then there's a need for a balance.
Yes, because if you watch the country we are, no region in this country is seen as being taken care of by the government at the center. No region is not marginalized. I must tell you that. Okay? And if you watch the way things are, we must begin to look at what favors this group, what favors that group. And until peace is brought into a region, you might not see the gains or efforts of any government. Because any efforts of any government onto a group will be a total waste if there is unrest in that environment. For instance, North, the whole North has about 19 states. Why do we have so much hunger in North?
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nụ ihe a bụkwa Igbo Media anyị si wee na-ewetakwara unu nnukwu ozi a dị oke mkpa dịka anyị si kwuo unu nkwa na dịka anyị si na-agba mbọ ewere ike ị na-enye unu update bụ ihe gbasara maka ife na-eme na ana Igbo be anyị na ndị nwere onwe nke a na-azọ. Ọ ya bụ nkwa ka anyị kwere unu na anyị ga na-emezu ya. Ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ iwe ọchịagha a kịta ị nụrụ n'elu akwụkwọ Biafran Prime Minister kwuru, gwa onwe gị eziokwu n'ụdị nke gị na nchịkọta mmụọ gị ka ghara iwelitela anyị n'ihe ya, maka oke ihe ga na-esi na-emezi. O nwere ebe ekweta na ndị Igbo ya anọ, o nwere ebe anyị sịrị anyị nọrọ. Igbo abụlọ senate president, Igbo abụlọ vice president, nothing. And na ụmụ ihe ndị niile amegasịkwa anụ ụmụnne anyị esokwa na-agba owofa mgba maka oke ife ya je megidezie ajụrụzi asị ma ọ gịnị na-emezi ọ dị ka arụ achọziri ime anyị negodin ka obodo si dị ka e mere ji jide nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na mkpọrọ akwa maka ndị Igbo. Gịnị ka ihe ọjọọ mere? Maka ọ sị na Igbo ga-adị, maka ọ sị na anyị ga-adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. O nwere ihe ọzọ eji jide ya? Jụọ onwe gị ajụ a, gịnị ka eji jide Maazị Nnamdi Kanu? Ọkwa maka ọ sị na Igbo ya adị. Biko ọtụtụ dị ka iwe chetara ife a bụ Igbo Media anyị na-asụ n'onu be anyị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị na-asụ. So biko ọ bụ na ede anụ Igbo iwe ewe na gị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị ji akọwa ihe na-eme ebe a. Ka ego ọkwa na ya anyị na-ekwu bifo unu ekwe n'iwe ka ife onye ndu melụ ọ sị na ya na-eme mgbomgbe ndị Igbo na-abịa ya n'alụ ọ na-ewute ya. Simon Ekpa penie anyị agbaba ya mgba ka e mere obedient movement. Akwụwụrụ okwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru before ejide ya, they will never give you that president, that seat. Akwụdoro na ya na Peter Obi winere mana nyere ya. Gịnị ka nsị ya bụ? Mba, Igbo mana na ife maka oke esi na-ekwuzi okwu ọka ife ga na-esi na-emezi. Ọ bụ na ịkpọrọ onwe gị mitin, chụkọ onwe gị ọnụ, jụọ onwe gị ajụ a ka ebe ịkwụ n'obodo a bụ Naijiria. Ajụ nchọkwa onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo na-ege m ntị n'elu akwụkwọ a, jụọ onwe ya na na-ejicha onwe gị ya bụ ife isaa ya. Ọgwụna ka m n'ọnụ. Ihe a bụ Igbo Media. Daalụ n'ụmụnne.